I declare the possibility that.
I declare the possibility that.
What is possible.
What is possible.
Is what I say is possible.
Is what I say is possible.
That's good. Good work. Second, I declare this possibility.
I declare this possibility.
Who I am is the stand I take.
Who I am is the stand I take.
And number 3, I take this stand.
I take this stand.
There is no fixed way that things should be.
There is no fixed way that things should be.
Or should not be.
Or should not be.
They just are.
They just are.
Okay, those are our 3 statements that we're going to. With the first statement, I declare the possibility that what is possible is what I say is possible. With this declaration, you reclaim for yourself the power to determine what's possible in your future that you had formerly granted to the past. Once you begin to operate from this declaration, the future is invented. Isn't that beautiful? We invent. Another word for create, our futures. What you say is possible determines what is possible. And then your responses or reactions and the results they produce are a reflection of the possibility that you declared. The second principle. I declare this possibility. Who I am is the stand I take. Through this statement, you establish a new way of being. The phrase, who I am, refers to the way you have been up to now. The way you have been in this striving or surviving mode. Maybe that's the modes that we have been in for most of our life, where we are just hanging in there, trying to survive, and then we move up to a place where we start to strive, and we're making things happen, so that's a movement in the right direction. But it's not in that thriving yet. This declaration displaces the old way of being and makes room for a new one. A new way of being. That's so exciting. A new way of being when the old way doesn't serve you. If it serves you, then keep it and just keep adding to it. Because remember, the universe is limitless. So therefore, so are we. Because since God is limitless and we are created out of the nature of God, we too are limitless. We can create. All things are possible. Remember, all things are possible. You commit to that which seems like an impossible future. You take a stand. By taking that stand, you are committing to continuously act consistently with the possibility that you declared. From the moment that declaration is spoken, regardless of the circumstances, regardless. Think about Rudy. It's a great inspiration. And the third one, I take this stand. There is no fixed way that things should or should not be. They just are. I say a lot, life is, and I call it the isness. We're in this isness. But we get to decide what we're going to do at that point. We get to make that decision. Life is. That's the release of the shoulds and the should nots. Life just is. This declaration gives you the freedom to move ahead, to create the impossible future, even when things don't turn out the way you think that they should turn out. You expected them to end in a certain way. For example, if you declared the possibility of getting a certain job or a position with a company, and it was given to someone else, all that has happened is that someone else got it. It doesn't have anything, it doesn't say a thing about you, them, or it. You can then return to your declaration that you took a stand for and focus on it and create your future, just like Rudy did. Things didn't turn out exactly how he thought, but he just kept going. And then there was a point that dark night of his soul where he was really challenged and was ready to give up, but he didn't. He moved through it. He moved through it and accomplished his declaration. Making these declarations of possibility is the first step in allowing something to move forward from existing as a possibility, only because you say so, to existing as a reality where it is so in the world. We create it. We create it. The new realm of possibility you declare is founded solely on your stand for that possibility, without precedent, argument, or doubt. Remember, principle, the law, is not bound by precedent, that which went on before it. This requires making a series of bold promises and then fulfilling them. So remember, we're going to do that action step as well. We're going to talk a lot more about this next week as we move into that thriving consciousness. But without this commitment to act, the possibility that you declare will never be transformed. It will never manifest from a possibility to a reality if we don't take the actions as they appear, as we are guided. And we know, because we do get these universal signs. We do get that support from this power for good from God. And if we don't follow, it will just fizzle out and become nothing. That's what will happen. Having taken a stand, a strong stand in what you believe, does not guarantee success all the time. But don't forget, you have already acknowledged that there is no such thing as should or should not in your statement. You've already acknowledged that it should be a certain way. We outline for the universal law. When we outline, we stand in the way of the limitless possibilities to occur. And this is one of your declarations. The possibility of failure and lack of control do not lessen your commitment. They merely mean that you accept as a lesson or a gift the reality that things work out the way that they work out. You've done your part. You've made your declaration. You've stuck by it. Don't give up. And so this morning we take a stand to accept the impossible. And next week we will proclaim the impossible. We will proclaim it. So make sure you're here next week. If you are really willing to accept the impossible, we only think, and remember that, we only think that things are impossible. We only think that. Have you ever said that to yourself? Find yourself, that's not going to happen because that's impossible. That's impossible. I mean, it's not in our mental equivalent. We haven't gotten there yet. But just following, you've made your bold declarations. You've made your statements of truth. The universe has heard them. You've made them. Let go of the outcome and just follow. And because it feels right, you will get that divine guidance. I guarantee it. You will get divine guidance. You will know exactly what to do. Not what you think you should do. You surrender. And so, I ask you to join me one last time in making these 3 declarations. This is to set the law into motion. And if you don't know what the law is, take foundation class in September. Declaration number 1. I declare the possibility that what is possible is what I say is possible. Declaration number 2. I declare this possibility. Who I am is the stand I take. And number 3. I take this stand. There is no fixed way. That things should or should not be. They just are. Remember, life happens. Yes, we have, we do have the intentions, we do create, but life happens. The point of our creating then is when life happens and doesn't look like the way you want it to look, what are you choosing at that point? Because that is when you move to a higher realm of creating. You have released attachment to creating the way you think it should be. So I ask you to join me next week as we conclude this series. And next week we are going to learn how to thrive into the future. And I can't wait. Thank you.
Wow.